Hey everyone, I hope you all watched the previous videos. Let's start the session. We are continuing the chapter 3, measuring device and tools. Okay, so in that we are dealing different types of tools. Okay, so the first question is hammer which are heavier in weight. These are sledge hammers. Okay, you can see here in the image that is the sledge hammer. Okay, it is tool with a large, flat, often metal head. Okay, attached to a long handle. The long handle combined with a heavy head allows the sledgehammer to gather momentum during a swing and applying a large force compared to hammers designed to drive nails. Okay, it is heavier in weight. It is available in 2 to 10 kg weight and used for heavy impact in large works. Okay, is useful gauge for checking the external diameter of shaft. So that is ring gauge. Okay, you can see here in the image that is ring gauge. Okay, so it is used for checking the external diameter of shaft. Okay, it working process is similar to caliper gauge. Okay, it is used for checking outer measurements of cylindrical jobs. Okay, outer part of ring gauge is null, so the gauge can be handled strongly. Okay, so you can observe here the outside part of the ring gauge is null. Okay, so this kind of shape is right. So that is knurling. Okay, use of V block. So to hold round rod during marking and drilling. So option B is the right answer. Okay, so you can see here in the image that is V block. Okay, V block is used to hold circular and semicircular shapes. Okay, it is used to hold workpiece properly during drilling, boring operations. Okay, they consist of rectangular steel or cast iron block with 120 channel rotation and 45-degree from the forming and V-shaped channel in the top. Okay, V block 50 by 5 to 40 A is used to hold the job whose diameter will be. So here 5 to 40 is the right, that is the diameter. Okay, so option A is correct answer. Okay, which non-ferrous metals tensile strength can be increased by hammering or rolling? That is copper. Okay, copper is very malleable and ductile. Okay, it can be made into sheets or wires. Copper is a good conductor of heat and also high resistant to corrosion. Okay, the tensile strength of copper can be increased by hammering or rolling. Okay, mallet is made of hardwood or rubber. Okay, so it is mostly used in sheet metal work or carpentry work. Okay, you can see here in the image. So this is the wood material. Okay, okay, wood. What is the clearance angle if the angle of inclination of chisel with point angle 60-degree and is 39.5 degree? Okay, so here you can see here in the image. So this is total is inclination angle. Okay, so this is the clearance angle and half of the beta, that is point angle. Okay, point angle given here is point angle beta equals to 60 degree. Okay, so and one more thing is given, that is clearance angle, sorry, inclination angle, that is theta equals 39.5 degree. Okay, inclination angle theta equals to 39.5 degree. Okay, we have to find the clearance angle, right? So inclination angle inclination angle equals to clearance angle plus point angle by 2. Okay, point angle by 2. Okay, so here inclination angle given is 39.5, right? So 39.5 plus, sorry, equals to clearance angle plus point angle 60 by 2, that is 30, right? So clearance angle equals to 9.5. Okay, here it is 30, right? So 30, so 9.5 degrees is the answer. So that is option B. Okay, which of the following chisel is used for squaring material at the corners? That is diamond point chisels. Okay, so I'm giving you all the details of the chisels and their uses. Okay, so in flat chisel, it is used to remove metal from large flat surfaces and chip off excess metal of welded joints and castings. Okay, cross cut or curved chisel for cutting flutes, curved grooves, oil grooves. Okay, diamond point chisel is for squaring material at corner joints. Okay, web chisel or punching chisel are used to separate metals after chain drilling. Okay, which of the following is used for scribing large diameter circles or arcs? That is being compass. Okay, you can see here in the image that is being compass. Okay, it is an instrument used for drawing large circles or curvatures larger than these possible with the small compass set. Okay, the beam compass was frequently used for drawing large diameter circles. Okay, which of the following is used for separating metal after chain drill? We have discussed this. So that is web chisel. Okay, you can see here in the image. So that is, it is used to separate metal after chain drilling. Okay, in a chisel, the cutting edge cannot penetrate into the work and slip if. So it will slip if the clearance angle is low. Okay, you can see here in the image. So this is the clearance angle. Okay, so if we reduce the clearance angle or we can say inclined angle, so the tool will not penetrate into the work. Okay, it will slip. Okay, not only the clearance angle, even we decrease the inclined angle of a chisel, the tool will slip. Okay, without penetrating into the work. Okay, in a chisel, the cut progressively increases if. So the cut progressively increases if the clearance angle is high. Okay, dowel pins are used for. So these are used for hidden fastenings. Okay, so you can see here this is the dowel pin. Okay, this is where the dowel pins are used. Okay, here you can see in the component. So this is the dowel pin hidden inside the component. Okay, head of chisel is not hardened. The reason is to avoid slippage during hammer blow. Okay, which of the following is used to check the final fit to mating tapers? So that is Prussian blue. Okay, which of the following hand tool is used to mark the center of a hole when drilled? So that is center punch. Okay, it is used to locate the center of holes or deepen of focal point. Okay, the point angle of center punch is 90 degrees. Okay, They are made of high carbon steel, hardened and ground. Okay. Purpose of an angle plate is the purpose is to hold the workpiece and tool. Okay. So work holding is the purpose. Okay. The edges and ends are also machined square. Okay. They have ribs on the unmachined part for good rigidity and to prevent distortion. Okay. The slots are machined on the top plane surfaces for accommodating damping bolts. Okay. So you can see here in the image, these are the angle plates. Okay. So the slots are given here, right? So these are, sorry. So these are the slots used for accommodating damping bolts. Okay. Name the hand tool used to remove the high spots of a job. That is scrapers. Okay. It is used to remove the high spots of a job after machining. Okay. It is made up of high grade tool steel or special alloy steel and tungsten carbide tipped tools. Okay. Gauge is used for measuring small air gaps and clearances. That is failure gauge. Okay, you can see here in the image. These are the failure gauge with a proper dimensioning. Okay, it is tool used to measure gap widths. Okay, so it is mostly used in engineering to measure the clearance between two parts. Okay, they consist of a number of small lengths of steel of different thickness with measurement marked on each piece. You can observe here in the image. Okay. Dash scraper is used to scrape round or curved surfaces and to remove sharp corners and burrs. That is triangular scraper. Okay. It is known as three square scraper. Okay. Its shape is triangular and has three cutting edges. Okay. It is used to scrape round or curved surfaces and to remove sharp corners. Okay, you can see here in the image that is the triangular scraper. Okay, screwdriver is used for tightening screws having star or cross groove head used in electronic equipment is that is Phillips screwdriver. Okay, that is Phillips screwdriver. Okay, it has a head with the point edges in the shape of cross which fits nearly into the cross slots of a Phillips screw. Okay, so you can see this is the one kind of Phillips screw driver. Okay, pliers is used for gripping nuts which are fitted in narrow and down places. So that is nose pliers. Okay, it is used for gripping nuts which are fitted in narrow and down places. Okay, you can see here that is the nose plier. Okay. Spanner is used to turn bolts mounted in deeper places. Is so that is box spanner. Okay, you can see here in the image that is tubular box spanner. Okay, it normally features a six-sided ring type head that fits the nut that has been pressed out of the steel tube during the manufacturing process. Okay, it is used to turn bolts mounted in deeper places. Wrench is used for turning large diameter pipes. That is chain wrench. Okay, you can see here in the image that is the chain wrench. It is used for holding or gripping large diameter pipes. Okay, it is used for pipes with diameter of 50 mm to 150 mm. Okay, the slots on angle plate provided for. So this is for accommodating clamping bolts. We have discussed it, right? So here the slots are given, right? So it is used for accommodating clamping bolts. Okay. Hand tool used for cutting thin sheets is called, that is snip. Okay, snipper. Hand tool used for cutting thin sheets is snipper. Okay, it is made of high carbon steel. Okay, its cutting edges are hardened and tempered. Okay, you can see here in the image that is snip. Okay, its cutting edges are grounded at an angle of 80 degrees. Okay, crosscut chisels are used for, so it is used for cutting grooves, flutes, and keyways. Okay, so here the answer is cutting keyways. You can see here in the image that is crosscut chisel. Okay, it is also known as cape chisel. Okay, cape chisel. Okay, also known as. So point angle of chisel for aluminum. We have discussed that table in the previous class. Okay, so that is here showing in the image. Aluminum has 30 degrees of point angle. Okay, so option C. Okay, angular contact ball bearing are designed to take. It is designed to take axial thrust and radial loads. Okay, here in the image you can see at the bottom. So this is the angular contact ball bearing. Okay, so it can take heavy radial and thrust loads. Okay, so you can here see that thrust load, sorry, thrust bearing. Okay, it cannot take radial loads. Okay, and tapered roller bearing, that is, it can take here. This is tapered roller bearing. Okay, it can take heavy radial and thrust loads. Okay, and where cylindrical roller bearing here. So it can take radial load only. Okay, and deep groove ball bearing is here. So here it takes load in radial as well as in axial direction. Okay, trowel is used for, it is used for picking, spreading mortar. Okay, so you can see here in the image that is the trowel. Okay, it is used for spreading and smoothing, picking mortar and concrete. Okay, it is an essential tool for masonry. Okay, it is available in two sizes. Large size trowel is used in walls, pillars, concrete, etc. Okay. Dash has a long blade ideal for cleaning grooves and accessing tight spaces. That is paring chisel. Okay, you can see here in the image that is paring chisel. It has a long blade ideal for cleaning grooves and accessing. Okay. Which of the following chisel is used for cutting keyways and grooves? We discussed that, right? So that is crosscut chisel. Okay. So you can see that is the crosscut chisel or cape chisel. Okay. So these are the different types of chisels: diamond point chisel, flat chisel, half round chisel, and crosscut or cape cut chisels. Okay. Which of the following chisel is used for separating metals after chain drill? So we discussed that, that is web chisel. Okay. Here you can see in the image after chain drill, the web chisel is used to remove the materials. Okay. What is the use of diamond point chisel? So that is for regroove on metal surfaces. Okay, so you can see here in the image. Okay, these chisels are used for removing unwanted material and debris from corners and other hard to access areas. Okay, prick punch have 60-degree tapped angle is used for, that is used for making punch marks for hole to be drilled. Okay, it is short length punch made of high carbon steel. Okay, it is used to draw curves. Okay, why small convexness is provided on cutting edge of flat chisel? So to cut the cutting edge corners. Okay, flat chisel is made from high carbon steel by forging. Okay, while cutting, the shearing edge is provided with a slight convexity so that it does not penetrate deeply while grinding the metal. Okay, its length is kept 10 to 40 centimeter and cutting edge is kept at 1.6 to 3.2 centimeters. Okay, it is used to save the cutting edge corner from cutting. Okay, which gauge is used for measuring diameter of cylinder bore? So that is telescopic gaze. Okay, you can see here in the image that is the telescopic gaze. Okay, two telescopic rods you can observe here. Okay, and internal spring is inside this uh, hollow tube. Okay, and lock nut is provided here. Okay, it is the telescope gaze is indirect measuring device used to measure the internal diameter of a bore hole, groove, or slot. Okay, this T-shaped tool consists of a handle, two telescope rods, and locking screw, as we discussed. Okay, C clamp is used for C clamp is used for holding material in tight position. Okay, this is the C clamp. Okay, so it is used to hold a wood or metal workpieces and often used in carpentry or welding. Okay, torque wrench is used for it is used where tightness of screw and bolt is crucial. Okay, so here answer is tightening bolt and nut. Okay, it allows the operation to set the torque applied to fastener so it can be matched to specifications for particular application. Okay, you can see here that is the torque wrench. Okay, sharp flat chisel is used. So it is used for removing unwanted material. Okay, this width of sharp flat chisel is smaller than its thickness. Okay, for convenience in cutting slides, roundness is provided to cutting edge. Okay, the forging angle of chisel is 25 degrees to 30 degrees. Okay, it is used for removing or chipping unwanted materials. Okay, you can see that is the sharp flat chisel. Okay, which part of ball peen hammer is used for shaping and forming functions? Okay, so that is peen. You can see here in the image the top portion. So this is peen. Okay, what is the point angle of center punch? That is 90 degrees. Okay, which of the following is not a type of tap wrench? That is spanner. Okay, spanner is look like this. Okay, and tap wrenches are look like this. Okay, T shape. Okay, tap wrench is a hand tool used to turn taps or other small tools such as hand reamers or screw extractors. Okay, types of tap wrenches are solid tap wrench, adjustable tap wrench, T-handle tap wrench. Okay, which of the following material is not used for making mallet? So plastic, rubber, wood are used in mallet. So except cast iron. So mallet is a hammer used to strike an object without damaging it, right? So we don't use metallic materials, okay? So rubber, wood, and plastic are the lightweight materials used in mallets. Okay, so this is the mallet. Here it is used a rubber material. Okay, if the handle in a hammer is loose, then it causes an accident. Okay, an air chisel is used to break or cut metal object apart. How is it operated? That is operated pneumatically. Okay, a chisel is a pneumatic hand tool used to carve in stone and to break or cut metal objects apart. Okay, it is designed to accept different tools depending on required function. Okay, so this is the pneumatic a chisel. Okay, what is the other name for Jenny spanner? That is joint spanner. Okay, so it look like this. Okay, this is the Jenny spanner or joint spanner. Okay, chisel for metal cutting are hardened. It is hardened at the cutting edge. Okay, so answer C. In chipping process, the following chisel is used. That is cold chisel. Okay, it is a hand cutting tool used by fitters for chipping and cutting off operations. It is made from high carbon steel or chrome vanadium steel. Okay. Pliers is used for opening and fitting circlips. So the long nose pliers are used for opening and fitting circlips. You can see here in the image that are long nose pliers. Okay. The jaws of this type of pliers are long and sharp from the front. Okay. It is used to hold, remove, and fit small parts in tight spaces where jaws of other pliers cannot move. Okay. The tool used to indicate the length of pipe to be cut. That is scriber. Okay. You can see here in the image. Okay. So it is a hand tool used in metalwork to mark lines on workpieces prior to machining. Okay. It is made of high carbon steel, which is later hardened and tempered. Okay. Hills and valleys on the job surface is checked by which instrument? That is profile meter. Okay. You can see here in this image that is the profile meter. Okay. What is use of drift? So it is used to remove drill. Okay. Here you can see in the image. Okay. Uh, this is drill. So drift. Okay. This is drill bit. Okay. Okay. So it is drift is used to remove the drill and socket from the machine spindle. Okay. Which type of plier is used to fit and remove circlips in assembly work? That is circlip plier. Okay. You can see here different types of circlips. Okay. So it is used for fastening and removing retaining rings, sometimes referred to as snap ring. Okay. They are typically used by engineers working on motors, pistons, and turbines. Okay. Scraper is made of which metal? That is high carbon steel. Okay. So scraper is a tool used to scrape off the protruding parts on the surface after machining. Okay. Its cutting edges are hardened and tempered. Name the tool which is used to lift or move heavy loads by leverage effect. So here that is crowbar. Okay. You can see here in the image that is crowbar. Okay. It is a first type lever. Okay. It is a first type lever. Okay, so it is used to lift or move heavy loads by leverage effect. Okay, it is made of medium carbon steel, wrought iron, titanium, etc. Okay, what is the point angle of prick punch, which is used for making light punch marks? That is 30 degrees. Okay, this is the prick punch of 30 degrees. Okay, it is used for marking light punch marks. Okay, prick punch is a short length punch. It is made of high carbon steel. Okay, during chipping, chisel should be kept at an angle of, so it should be kept at an angle of 40 degrees. Okay, so see here the chipping and cutting process of the chisel. Okay, so it should be kept at 40 degrees. Okay, choose the bar having forged end used for pulling big nails out of timber and as tool to remove heavy objects. Other uses are to open crates or to loosen boards of concrete forms. So that is crowbar. Okay, so we know that, right? Crowbar is the bar having forged end used for pulling big nails out of timber and as a tool to remove heavy objects. Okay, other uses are to open crates or to open loosen bars of concrete forms. Okay, correct sequence of processing for producing a cold chisel. So that is forging, rough grinding, and then hardening and tempering. Okay. So cold chisel is a hand cutting tool used by fitters for chipping and cutting of operations. Okay. So these are the cold chisels. Okay. State the use of trying plane. So it is used for producing a true and straight surface. Okay. It is also known as joints plane. Okay. Joints plane. Okay. It is also known as joints plane. It is a type of hand plane used in woodworking to straighten the edges of boards and to flatten the faces of larger boards. Okay. See, you can see here in the image. Okay. That is the trying plane or joints plane. Okay. It is used to straighten the surface. State the use of rebate planes. So it is used for planing and smoothing rebates. Okay. So and here see this is the rebate plane. Okay. So rebate planes are made by joining two planks together. Okay. Its blade is open on both the saw sides of the block. Okay. So that the wooden peels can come out on both sides. Its block is made of wood or iron. Okay. State the use of paring chisel. So paring chisel is it is most suitable for all paring works such as finishing of joints. Okay. So this is the paring chisel. Okay. It is used for delicately shaving thin silver of wood. Okay. It is most suitable for all paring work such as finishing of joints. Okay, they have a long, flat, thin blade which provides excellent control for fine work. Okay, bevel edge firmer chisel is used for. It is used for cleaning of corners and joints. Okay, so this is the bevel edge firmer chisels. Okay, first one is the bevel edge. Okay, smaller sizes of drills are not marked and the size is found by the user. That is drill gauge. Okay, you can see here in the image that is the drill gauge. Okay, dash is set by the tri square. That is flat surface. Okay, tri square is made of hard quality wood such as teak or mahogany. Okay, you can see here in the image. Okay, it consists of two parts. One is stock and another is blade. Okay, stock and blade are joined together. Okay, it is used for checking flat surfaces. Okay, and draw horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, plumb bob is made of which metal? That is brass. Okay, plumb bob is in the shape of bob made of brass. Okay, so you can see here in the image that is plumb bob. Okay, its lower part is sharp. Okay, its lower part is sharp. This string is usually threaded into a wooden bar. The length of the strip is equal to maximum diameter of the bob. Okay, diamond point chisel. So its edge is sharp like a diamond. Okay, so look at the image. Okay, which chisel is used for marking rectangular slot. That is crosscut chisel. Okay, you can see here in the image that is crosscut chisel or cave chisel. Okay, it is used for cutting keyways and grooves. Okay, it is available in the length of 100 to 400 mm. Width of its cutting edge is 4 to 12 mm. Okay, V-shaped grooves and square grooves corners are created by which chisel? That is created by diamond point chisel. Okay, so that is the diamond point chisel. Cutting angle of flat chisel is grind at dash for chipping of cast iron. So that is option B. Okay, 60 degrees. Okay, these are the materials and their cutting angles. Okay, point of flat chisel is grinded for aluminum chipping. Okay, we know that that is 30 degrees. Okay, so it's at the bottom. Okay, end of flat chisel is grinded in convex because chisel will not jump and also cut will be proper. Okay, so option B. Okay, inclination of chisel during chipping of mild steel, that is 34.5 degree. Okay, its point angle is 55 degree. Okay, point angle is 55 degree. Okay, inclination angle of chisel during chipping of brass, that is 32 degrees. Okay, point angle is 50 degrees. Okay, chisel used for cutting keyways, that is crosscut chisel. Okay, we know that we have discussed many times. Okay, this is the chisel and their uses. Okay, you have to remember this. Center head is used for finding the center point of round bar. Okay, this is the center head. This is how we are gonna find center of the round rod. Okay, So you can see this is the round rod. Okay. Okay. By using this instrument, we will find the center of the round ball. Okay. Straight edge is made of. Straight edge is made of. That is made of steel or cast iron. Okay. It is a tool used for drawing straight lines or checking the straightness. Okay. It is made of steel or cast iron. Okay. It is used in automatic service or machine industry to check the flatness of machine mating surfaces. Okay. So this is the straight edge. Okay. It is made of steel or cast iron. Center punch is made of. Center punch is made of high carbon steels. Okay. So these are the center punch. Okay. Its point angle is 90 degree. We know that, right? It is used to locate the center of holes or to deepen the focal point. Hollow punch is used for. It is used for cutting washers in thin sheets. Okay. Hollow punch is used for punching sound holes in gasket material, leather, rubber, canvas, cardboard, plastic, and other soft materials. Okay. The special design of the cutting edge prevents forming of material inside the punch. Okay. The cutting edge is induction hardened for extended working life. Okay. So you can see this is the hollow punch. Okay. Cold chisel differs from hot chisel become it is that is hardened and tempered. Okay. The difference between cold chisel and hot chisel is given here. Okay. Cold chisel is hardened and tempered because the metal being cut or shaped by it is hard. In cold hot chisel, it is not hardened and tempered as compared to cold chisel, and metal being cut by it is generally soft. Okay. Cutting angle of round nose chisel is that is 35 degrees to 45 degrees. Okay. Forging angle is 30 degrees. Okay. And forging angle equals to 30 degree. Okay. So these are the types of chisels. Okay. Flat chisel, cross cut chisel, side cut chisel, round nose chisel, cow mouth chisel, diamond point chisels. Okay. Dash surface of box angle plate are finished with is used for matching and marking. So that is six. Okay. Six surfaces are finished. Okay. It is used for marking and measuring. Significant advantage of it is after setting the work can be turned over with the box enabling further marking out or machining. Okay. These are the box angle plate. Okay. Template is made of which of the following? That is option B, paper. Okay. Template is a product has to be made in large number. Then first a sample is prepared. After that, by copying it, other products like that are prepared. Okay. The product which is prepared as this sample is called template. Okay. It is mainly made of sheet, cardboard, or a rubber. Crosscut chisel is forged at which angle? It is forged at 30 degrees. Okay. Which scraper is used for cleaning keyways? So that is hook scraper. Okay. How much metal is removed by scraping? that is 0.05 to 0.07 mm from the surface. Okay. Which tool is used for removing high spots of surface? That is scraper. Okay. Scraper is made of which metal? Scraper is made of which metal? That is carbon steel. Okay. Which scraper is used for scraping of large bearings? That is two-hand scraper. Okay. Cutting edge of flat chisel is grinded at which angle for cutting steel? That is option D, 70 degrees. Okay. What is forged angle of hot chisel? What is forged angle of hot chisel? That is 30 degrees. Okay. Hot chisel is used to cut metal that has been heated in forge to soften the metal. Okay. This is also not hardened and tempered. Okay. We discussed it. Which type of tool is chisel? That is a cutting tool. Okay. Which tool is used for chipping? That is chisel. Okay. Why some convexity is provided in cutting edge of flat chisel? So it is for saving material from getting stuck into cutting edge. Okay. What is accuracy of workshop surface plate? That is 0.025 mm. Okay. General cutting tool is made of which material? That is high carbon steel. Okay. That is option C. HC means high carbon. Okay. High carbon steel. With the help of which of the following tool a vernier height gauge is used to draw parallel lines on a round rod? That is surface plate and heel block. Okay. Which is indirect measuring tool? That is caliper. Okay. Caliper is a indirect measuring tool. Okay. It is used for measuring length, width, thickness, and diameter, etc. with the help of steel rule. Okay. Which tool is used to make the job in proper shape? That is measuring tool. Okay. For making the job in proper shape, measuring tool is used. After that, marking is done, and at the last, cutting is done. Okay. Thank you.